Welcome back to the channel, boys. Fablinski's coming at you next with this Legend Lost Sector Titan build. With this build you're about to see right here, I was able to solo the Legend difficulty Lost Sector. I think today it's dropping chest or legs. It's going to change our reset. I don't know what it's going to be, but honestly I think that you can take this build to any of them and do really well and probably make it pretty easy. When I soloed it, I was at like 1230, I think like 1234 or 5, and I was able to solo it pretty easily. It's just an endurance test. It's just you got to be slow. Now I'm 1241. It's pretty easy, but yeah, with this build it's going to be a hell of a lot easier. On my Behemoth subclass, I am rocking the Dusk Field Grenade. This is probably the best one to use for these lost sectors because when you have these certain mods on, you can keep stacking the overload champs. Makes it very easy to deal with them. I would not recommend any other grenade. This is easily the best one you want. And then I'm rocking Whisper's Hedron, so that way I get a bonus weapon damage once they are frozen. It lasts 10 seconds. It allows me to really make easy work of these champions. Now as for my loadout, I'm using a Masterwork Izanagi's paired with an auto-loading quick draw grenade launcher. My game plan is to hit them once with Izanagi's, swap to my grenade launcher very fast, shoot as much grenades as possible. If they start to either put their barrier up or the overload champ starts to regain his health, I'll finish him off with my pulse rifle, break the shield, finish him off, or going for a finisher. But this right here is such a good combination because so much burst damage. Izanagi's is ridiculous and grenade launchers are ridiculous. Now I'm not going to go through all of my stats because there's only 2 or 3 that are very important. 100 resilience, that I can abuse Citan's Ramparts, is going to give me easy sight lines cover. Although the shield, it does have less health, I'm able to shoot through it, which makes it very easy to deal with the champions and adds. And then I have 65 discipline, so my grenade comes back as much as possible. But honestly, with some of the mods, you don't even need to really worry about this. As long as you're good with landing your grenades, you're going to have it back. And then I have 81 intellect because I like having supers, and if I need to spam it to, just in case of getting swarmed, I can crowd control the enemies or go in for heavy ammo, special ammo, and come back to safety. So let's start with the helmet. We got resilience mod. We got grenade launcher, ammo finder, and then we got sniper rifle ammo finder because I'm rocking, well, a grenade launcher and a sniper rifle. And then we're rocking shield break charge. There's some arc shields and void shields. I'm also using protective light, so I want to be able to become charged with light as much as possible, save up those stacks so it can save my life. Now this exotic right here is what is going to allow me to be able to solo this with ease. Citan's Ramparts. Now the perk that comes on it is Assault Barricade. You and your allies can shoot through the towering barricade, which has reduced health and duration. And it does have reduced health. It is nowhere near as tanky as a normal barricade, but the fact that you can shoot through it makes it so valuable in endgame content, especially like solo content like the lost sectors. You're able to stay safe while doing damage, and that is so important. And the mods we're running are resilience mod. We got pulse rifle loader and anti-barrier pulse because there's barrier champions in there. And then we're using protective light. While charged with light, you gain significant damage resistance against combatants when your shields are destroyed. This effect consumes all stacks of charged with light. The more stacks consumed, the longer the damage resistance. Now if you have 4 stacks, I believe it lasts 15 seconds. Although does this take away 10 strength? Who's really using strength in some of this hard content like the Legend Lost Sectors or Nightfalls and whatever? Usually staying back with snipers, long range weapons, or grenades and stuff. So honestly, take away that 10 strength. As long as you give me something to save myself when I'm about to die, I'll take that any day. On my chest, I'm using a resilience mod as well. We got sniper rifle reserves. I want to have as many Izzy shots as possible. We're using concussive dampener, so that way I can take some more damage from the boss damage or any type of AoE effect. And then we're using charge up, which will give me 1 additional stack of charge with light. On my legs, we're running a discipline mod here. We got grenade launcher scavenger. This is on the seasonal artifact. We got sniper rifle ammo scavenger. And then we got charged up again, so now I have a total of 4 stacks of charge with light. So super important because protective light will now last 15 seconds. As long as my shield break, I'm able to go back into cover, get my health back in, and then I'll probably have a couple seconds left where I'm taking less damage. It is so good. Protective light is so good in hard content. And on my Titan mark, we got another discipline mod. I'm gonna get to these 2 mods in a second. But then we got taking charge, become charged with light by picking up orbs of power. I'm using all Masterwork weapons, so it kind of makes sense to have this one here. Now onto these 2 mods right here. We got thermal overload. Solar and stasis grenades cause disruption, delaying ability regeneration and lowering combatant damage output. Strong against overload champions. This will disrupt and overload the overload champions. It will stagger them and keep them in place. Now if you pair this with Surge Eater, recharge your grenade ability whenever you or a member of your fire team disrupts a champion. So if you guys can kind of see what's happening here, as long as you're using dust field grenades and keep the champion inside that field, you can hit them with the grenade, they're going to freeze and become overloaded. You get your grenade back, you throw another one, you do damage, you stagger them again, you get your grenade back, do some damage. It is a constant cycle until they are dead. This is so powerful. This is what is going to allow us to solo this, because I need Izzy's and then I have anti-barrier pulse, and my grenades is what is going to allow me to stagger these overload champions. Without this, I don't think it would be possible. And as for my Titan fashion, I kind of just went with an all bronze look with some white accents here and there. If you guys like this color scheme, shades will be in the description below. These legend lost sectors are no joke, honestly. You really gotta play your cards right, and you gotta be patient and wait for your opportunity to strike. I had a lot of fun doing it, and this build makes it so much easier because you have that Citan's Rampart barricade to be able to do damage from a distance while being safe. I know there's a lot of servitors in there, and they can hit you with that purple like ball thing, and they can do some damage. Plus there's overload champions. Now my recommendation on how to deal with these barrier and overload champions. First I'll start with the barriers. You're going to want to hit them with the Izanagi shot and then swap to a grenade launcher and burst down your grenade launcher. If they don't die, wait for them to pop their barricade, or their barrier rather, and then break down their barrier and then finish them off either with the pulse rifle or going for a finisher. Now when it comes to the overload champions, here's where things get a little bit tricky. It's not too difficult, but if you miss your grenade, you're going to have to wait for it to come back, and if you're rocking low discipline, that can take a while. You got to remember that these legend lost sectors do have a timer. You're not going to die when you hit to 15 minutes, but once you do hit 15 minutes, you can no longer respawn. That's it. If you die once, you have to start from the beginning. So when it comes to the overload champs, I recommend trying to wait for them to teleport once, hit them with your dust field grenade and proceed to do some damage, but you got to remember to keep cycling those dust field grenades, because if you forget to hit them, they're going to teleport away, regain their health, then you got to start the cycle all over again. So what I do is I hit them with the grenade, maybe line up like an Izzy shot, hit them with another grenade, do some grenade damage, maybe hit them with even another one. Now it depends on what their health is. I don't want to waste my grenade. Maybe I would go in with a finisher, but I always make sure to throw another grenade so that way they keep getting staggered, and it makes it very easy to deal with them. Now in this specific lost sector, there was a lot of arc shields and void shields, so I would recommend bringing one or the other, either an arc primary and a void heavy, or a void primary and an arc heavy. But you're going to want to have something to deal with these elemental shields because our match game is on. There was also a time in this specific lost sector where there was a barrier champion and an overload champion at the same time. So it was very annoying dealing with both. You just have to play it very slow. The ads keep respawning during that section, so just take your time. I don't recommend rushing anything, because then if you die, you're going to use your respawns and then you're going to get frustrated. Just play it safe. You don't die if the timer goes very long. You can go in there for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, you're not going to die. You're not going to die because of time. As for the boss in this lost sector, I just stayed back with my Izzy's and popped him in the crit spot. It was so easy. Now there was a couple of servitors that put an overshield on him, but I just took them out with my grenade launcher. I have a void grenade launcher, so it made it pretty easy to deal with. The boss was honestly probably the easiest part of the whole lost sector, which is crazy, but that's how it was. Izzy's is just so strong in any in-game content. I recommend getting it. If you don't have it, get that catalyst because it makes it that much better. If you play your cards right, this lost sector shouldn't take you even more than 15 minutes. It took me 12, but if you have to play it so, go ahead. I recommend giving it a shot because it's a great way to farm exotics, and it's honestly just a lot of fun. I like the difficulty. It makes the game feel like a challenge, because a lot of Destiny stuff, at least for me, once you learn how to do it, it's pretty easy. Not saying that the game is bad, but I love this stuff like that. But the hard content where it's solo and you really gotta hit your shots and you gotta really plan what you're gonna do, I love that stuff. So more of this, please, Bungie. But if you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. It truly helps me out a lot. You can also check out my other videos. Links are in the description below. I have a lot of crazy builds, so go ahead and check that out. And you might as well follow my social media. I have a Twitter and an Instagram, both at fat_Bloonskis. But with all that being said, deuces.